you guys can hear it with my bare hand. Hey guys, welcome to Life of P&K. It's hot out here, it's Florida, it's always hot. You might have noticed the car is in the garage. There's an upcoming video that I'm gonna tell you all about that. There's a big change that happened in the life of P&K, but that's for another video. Today I wanted to talk about this car and this car only. And the reason why I want to talk about this car only is because it's getting close to 10,000 miles. So I wanted to share my experience with you guys in the first 10,000 miles of owning this car. It's been a lot of positives, not many negatives, but there are a few. So I'm thinking I'm going to start with the negatives first because there are just a couple here and there. It's mostly related to rattles. You guys already know by the title of this video. It's going to be a lot of rattles that are happening with this car. To me, a $60,000 car should not have as many rattles, but that's just my opinion. But let's get on with it. I'm going to show you the first rattle actually. That's mostly a mechanical rattle that just started happening recently. I think a lot of BMWs might have had that problem. And the first thing I'm going to do is pop the hood. And the car is very dirty. I'm getting something for the car that will make it so much better. So I don't know how well you guys can see this, but there's this actuator valve for the turbo. And when you start the car, especially if you're parked, let's say you're parked in the garage going this way, you start hearing the rattle a lot with this. And I can... Yep, you guys can hear it with my bare hand. So you can hear the rattle. I can make it with bare hand. In this rattle for a $60,000 car, it sounds like a mechanical rattle. You can only hear it if you're parked face first into like a wall or something like that where the sound resonates, or if you're actually sitting to the side of the car. And it's the actual turbo actuator valve. I looked online. I'm not sure if there's an easy fix to that other than replacing it. I hope I don't have to replace it. There shouldn't be any issues with the turbo or anything like that. It's just the actual rod that's like making noise when you move it with your fingers. So when the car is going, you can hear a lot more than this. So moving to the next rattle. There is an issue somewhere with the window. Let me get inside the car. But there is an issue somewhere in here with the window. I don't know if it's like the seam back here when you open and close the window. But when you go over like uneven path of road, uneven like bumps and like a side streets, usually this window starts creaking. And it sounds like a plastic rattle, but it's actually the window, because if you just lower it down a little bit, let's say like this, if you leave it open like that, the actual rattle goes away. And again, I don't know what's causing that. Maybe I have to put, I've read online, maybe you can put like a lube or like an oil type of thing where it's going to prevent some of the rattle. But I'm not sure if that will help. I will try it and see what happens. But there's a rattle here. And also, I believe there might be a rattle somewhere around here if it's not this. But I'm not sure. So far, this is okay. I think the main rattle is coming from like this area right here. And lastly, another issue that I had in the first 10,000 miles with the car is actually the steering wheel airbag area. There was a noise every time you turn the steering wheel to the left or the right lightly. It will make like a clicking noise that it seems like it was coming from a blinker, but it's not. It was actually a plate. The way they explained it to me is the plate shifts and then it just starts making a noise. So I had to take that to the dealership. That was a whole story. There's a couple of videos I made on that, and you guys can see 9,800 miles. There was a whole story about this in my channel, but they fixed it under warranty. Easy fix, apparently, according to them. And now it's been fine. But again, for about $60,000 car, there's some rattles that are coming up. The interior's been phenomenal so far. No issues there, except those couple rattles. And I believe there might be a rattle developing where the sunroof is. Like around here, this area, I've noticed sometimes if I open it lightly, some of the rattles, some of the noise will go away, but it's not always. It's just sometimes. The majority of it is here by this window. And the last thing I'll complain about is the passenger side wind noise. I believe it might be because of the M mirrors that this car comes with, but also I'm not 100% sure, because to me, the same issue should be happening on this side with this mirror. However, in the passenger side, especially if you're driving 60 or 70 miles an hour on the highway, the wind noise can be really bad. And depending if there's any crosswinds hitting your car and stuff like that, it can become pretty brutal. I'm not sure how this passed BMW's wind tunnel inspection. on this car. Maybe they said no one's gonna care. But here in South Florida, everyone drives insane. 80 or 90 miles an hour, that's about the average speed that everyone goes. Way over the speed limit, no one cares. So with that being said, those are only a couple negatives that I've experienced with this car, but they can't overshadow the positive. This car has been phenomenal. The engine, the transmission together are amazing. The car comfortably drives every day to work as a daily. It's phenomenal. It's been great. And also, I use the car to transport a lot of stuff. Here in the back, you can fit a lot of items. You can fit a computer desk. You can fit a mattress. You can fit many suitcases. Many things. This car can help you move a lot of things. But overall, it's been one of the most phenomenal cars I've ever had in my life. I've went through a couple cars. I've done a lot of work to those cars. They were really nice cars. But this, to me, I almost don't want to do any changes to it. Obviously, there's going to be some because I enjoy making changes to cars that I own or personalize them a little bit more. But overall, this car would be very hard to replace in the future. Because it's been so phenomenal. It's been so well put together. Yes, the rattles, whatever. But overall, the car itself has been really nice. It can adapt easy to what you need. You want it to be an actual work SUV? It can do that. You want it to go fast down the highway? It can do that. You want it for a comfortable ride where it's saving fuel economy? It can average about 30 plus miles per gallon if you're doing an eco mode and driving the speed limit. It can actually more than that probably. I never really tried it. I never did what is it called, a hypermile. But maybe one day I'll do that. I'll take the car for a long drive, for a long road trip and see. Again, it can fit a lot of things for a road trip in here. It can do many things for an SUV. It's been phenomenal. But just to sum up the 10,000 mile update on this car, other than the rattles, other than a couple other minor issues that were fixed by the dealership, the car has given me no problems. It's been through one oil change so far, and that was really easy. I dropped it off at the BMW dealership. They took care of everything. They gave me a loaner because they were also fixing that the steering wheel problem that I had. The oil change, the service was fine, even though the dealership, for the other stuff that I had to work on the car, was not so great. But other than that, I think moving on forward, I'll probably be servicing this car myself now that I have the ability to do so. Which I'm really excited about it. I can do more things with the space, even though with two cars it doesn't really fit a lot. But we can move one car out and then I have the space to work on this car. With that being said, let me know down below in the comments if you guys own this car or you've been the owners of this car. What has your experience been in the first 10,000 miles? Have you had any issues? Personally, my issues are nothing. Have you had any major repairs, any major problems? Or it's been pretty much smooth sailing like my car? I appreciate you guys for watching and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.